Melissa is not here tonight because she's in Cancun with a fellow teammate coach, Amanda. She took her team there and she took Melissa along and is kind of returning the favor and spoiling her because she does so much for each of us. So she has a night off. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cynthia. This is Laura.
Hello.
I am actually Melissa's son's girlfriend. Figure that one out. And also a fellow coach on TeamMADE. And Melissa asked Laura and I to talk to you guys tonight about success partners and the importance of having one because Laura and I are success partners. So we're going to talk to you guys about it. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share with you guys to see our slides. Okay. All right, so like I said, tonight we are going to touch on with you guys the importance of having a success partner, and we're just going to kind of share with you guys our best practices of being partners and what we've been able to accomplish together. So I'm going to pass off to Laura, and she's going to kind of take it away.
Okay, just a little bit of an introduction for those of you that don't know me. I've been on the team for a while, but just kind of recently found my new wife, Anthony, and we kind of got together and I started working. So we are both Diamond coaches now. I'm a mom of two. I have a 6-month-old baby. I teach PIO and I have a mompreneur on there. I guess that's what I'm going to be. So that's me in a nutshell.
And then, like I said, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cynthia. I am also a Diamond coach. I was also a coach for quite a while here on TeamMADE before really becoming a coach. They always say that there's a day that you sign up and the day you become a coach, and I became a coach recently. I am a dog mom of an English Mastiff puppy. Her name is Phoebe. I'm also a certified Group X instructor, and I am a 22-year-old girl boss. Laura told me to put that on there because I guess there's not many coaches kind of in my age range, so she said I needed to mention that.
Yeah, makes you unique. Okay, so our presentation, we kind of went with a what, when, how, why, and where, all about success partners. So we're going to kind of go through all 6 of these. Is there 6? Yes. 6 of them, and kind of explain to you the different facets of what a success partner is, how to get one, why you need one, where to find one, who it should be, and how they help you.
So the first one that we're going to start off with, we just kind of want to go over our accolades with you guys, is where we started before we became success partners and kind of where we are now. So beforehand, Laura had 2 active coaches. We were both really questioning if we were supposed to be coaches, if we were even good at this business, if this was even for us. I had more inactive coaches than I had active, and we both kind of lacked consistency.
So then we, once we kind of got together and we kind of shared and brainstormed, we're in a different place now, about what, like 2 months later?
Yeah.
Maybe about 2 months later, with 12 plus active coaches. And we've both decided that this is for us. Like, we were made for this. This is something that we both are really passionate about and we want to do. And now we're stable diamonds and we're going to double our business in the next 6 weeks. And we're becoming better people. We're becoming more confident leaders. So it's really awesome.
Yes. All right. So the first one we're going to touch on is the what of a success partner. What is a success partner? There are so many really good ways to define a success partner. So we decided to Google it to see what Google had to say.
Use the Google.
Yes, use the Google. Almighty Google. And it said that someone who shows up fully and moves toward mastery, one step at a time, helping the other along the way. And I don't think I could have said it better myself. I think that that's a really good definition of a success partner. To me, success partner is kind of the business partner that you have chosen for yourself. Here in coaching, we are all, hustling for our own teams. We are our own, business leaders. But it's nice to kind of have somebody down in the trenches with you. So you have your business partner, which is your success partner. And it's just someone in your corner at all times. Sometimes our family doesn't really know what coaching is, and they don't know how to back us up or, help us in the ways that we do. So it's just somebody who understands the hustle and is in your corner for you at all times. and it is an equally ambitious friend to stay accountable with. So just like we keep people accountable, that's our job as coaches. That's what our bread and butter is keeping people accountable. We need someone to keep us accountable in business as well. So it's really just practicing what we preach, but on the business side of coaching as well. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that was great. Yeah. Okay, why should you have a success partner? Like we were talking about before, accountability is kind of the key. When you're just doing something for yourself, you can sometimes give yourself that permission to like take a day off. But if you know that the other person is working too, like you're going to show up for them, just like you show up for your challenge groups, just like you show up for your customers. So accountability is definitely key. And then we were talking about how it kind of relieves the pressure from your spouse for being that support all the time. Because if you're, you're stressed about a month, you're just a couple points away from like a Success Club 5 or 10, or you're almost about to sell that challenge pack, and he's like, come to bed, honey, and you're like, no, I can't. It's like 10 o'clock and you're still going. So that person's going to kind of realize what you're going through, and it kind of relieves some of the pressure for the spouse to support you, or you don't have to heckle them quite as much. And then like we said before, you've got somebody in your corner. Like that is really important to know that you've got support wherever you are in your business, whatever is happening that day. Okay. Also, why you should have a success partner. So for me, being a Beachbody coach, I didn't want to feel like I was the only person, like we are kind of all, CEOs of our own business, but this does kind of make you feel a part of social media-based business. Social media-based businesses can be kind of isolating because, you're on Facebook, it's online, and sometimes you kind of miss that interaction that you get with like a real person. So having a success partner that you meet with gives you some face time so that you kind of, you feel a part of something greater. And then someone to talk you off your ledge. So it's kind of a deal. It's like when I'm having a hard time, Cynthia's not allowed to. And then when Cynthia is like freaking out, like I'm supposed to be calm. Like we have those roles that we've chosen so that both of us are not allowed to freak out and lose our shit at the same time. We have to, like, one of us has to talk the other off the ledge. One has to be positive if the other is being negative. Now we can both be positive at the same time, and that's an ideal situation. But then someone else to be your cheerleader. And then the coworker that you choose for yourself. It's like nobody wants to be in a cubicle really, but it's like the person next to you in your cube, that you're there with every day. You're mastering the same things every day, but you're also, building your own businesses separately, but together.
Yeah, so just on top of that, like especially with the coworker that you have for yourself, that like when you're working, there's always that one coworker that you kind of go to talk about what's going on at work and stuff. You just kind of find like you gravitate towards that one person at work that's kind of like your confidant. And so being a success partner is very similar to that, but it's the coworker that you're choosing for yourself within the coaching network. I'm just going to make sure that everybody's muted. If you can just check and make sure you're muted, because I think we're picking up a little bit of background noise. We're going to keep going. Okay, so who should be a success partner? I do not think that your success partner should be your spouse or anybody that you are directly like emotionally attached to, like a sibling or anybody in your family or your best friend. I really think it needs to be somebody that kind of has a fresh perspective that you're not emotionally attached to, so that just doesn't interfere, because it is like, this is what we're doing together as work, it's business. And so I think it's really important for it to not be your spouse, especially because we are trying to relieve the pressure of your spouse. So try to find someone that is not directly related to you or that isn't your significant other. I think it's really, really important to find someone of equal or greater ambition, and that is really in the same rank as you. Because, for example, if you're working, it's an emerald and a 2-star that are working together, there's no rank that is more important than the other, but it's really important for it to be more so a partnership and not a mentorship. So I think it's important to find somebody that's kind of in the same place in your business. Like for Laura and I, we were both like kind of struggling Emerald coaches. Like we were Emerald coaches, we were here, but we weren't really like, we weren't kicking ass like we could, to put it. And so try to find someone that has equal or greater ambition as you, especially because I feel like it kind of takes away like the mother hen feeling, like that you don't have to take care of this other person, but you are mutually helping each other, so that it's not like a caretaking, or like I said, that it's a partnership and not a mentorship, because we all have a mentor, that's Melissa, but this is your partner. Someone with a different target market. I think this is so important because it really eliminates room for competition. Because if you have the same, 102 mutual friends as your success partner, that can get a little sticky because you guys might be talking to the same people, and you don't want that to get in the way of your work ethic, and you don't want to be like, okay, well, Laura's post was really good and I'm scared that she's going to take the people that I was talking to. You just don't want any room for that. So it just eliminates room for competition, and it eliminates room for a scarcity mindset, as well as if you are working with someone that has a different target market than you, it really diversifies your audience and makes it so that you can connect with more people than usual. Because for me, my target market is completely different than Laura's. Laura's target market is more stay-at-home moms. My target market is party college students. So because we both have really diversified audiences, we can kind of broaden our horizons, because Laura knows how to connect and work well with moms, and I know how to connect and work well with young entrepreneurs. So we kind of get to get a fresh perspective on both of those markets and kind of just, like I said, broaden our horizons.
Yeah.
It should definitely be someone who is trustworthy and that you mesh well with. I think it's really important that it's somebody that you like. I mean, you're going to be spending quite a bit of time with this person and work very closely with them. So it needs to be someone like, you don't want to be like, oh, I have to call Laura in 30 minutes for our Zoom call. Like, it needs to be someone that you enjoy talking to. It needs to be someone that you trust, because you are, investing your best business practices in this person. You're sharing everything with them. So you want to make sure it's somebody that is going to invest in you as much as you will in them. And that it's not just going to be somebody that kind of like takes all the information that you give them and runs with it and doesn't really, help you in return. So it's a very give and take situation, but you have to make sure that that's equal and that they're trustworthy and that you like them, because you're going to be spending quite a bit of time with them.
Okay, so we've got all that stuff, and you're like, all right, well, where do I find this amazing, matching,
diamond in the rough,
beautiful person? Where do I find my wife? Well, you've got to go dating. Okay, someone you've naturally connected with. For me, Cynthia did a video.
We weren't even friends on Facebook.
We weren't even friends on Facebook, but I knew she was a groupie of Melissa because I'd seen her in class, and I was like, oh, she's hanging out. Who is that? And then I found her on Facebook because she had posted something, a video about her life, and she had been vulnerable, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is me 25 years ago. 25 years ago. Am I that old? No, I didn't mean to. When I was 25, I was thinking, oh my gosh. I'm not that old, guys. I'm only 32. Is that old? Okay. So when I saw her post, I was like, well, I relate to this girl, and I think you were the one who asked me if I was.
Yeah, Laura messaged me and was like, oh my God, that video struck a nerve with me. That was me when I was your age and all this stuff. And I was like, cool, want to be success partners?
I was really surprised that she didn't already have one. So I was like, well, I better put a ring on that right away. So reach out to other coaches, okay? So there are a ton of us in TeamMADE. I don't know if you guys recently saw, I was working with Mary Lemon Talkett.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to find, somebody that's there, that's with you. And she's like, okay. And so, Melissa put a shout out on the TeamMADE page, and all of a sudden she got a success partner. Reach out and interview people. Okay. Put yourself out there. Say, this is what I'm looking for. Do you fit this description? Okay. So put yourself out there, interview people, find your soulmate success partner. And this you know, it might be a little bit of a process, and it might be a little bit of a trial and error, you know, to really find somebody that you work really well with. And they don't have to become your best friend. You probably will become good friends, but you know, somebody that you don't already know, somebody that you need to make a new relationship with. So that's where you can find them. So you can find them in the TeamMADE page. You can find them somewhere. You can find them at the gym. You know, find them through somebody. See if somebody could recommend. Somebody could set you up with a blind date. You know, hook you up. They don't have Match.com for this, but not yet, anyways.
It's essentially the same process.
Yeah, essentially the same process to kind of find what your success partner or where your success partner would be.
And just with when you reach out to other coaches, you know, when it comes to mind of a coach you would love to work with, whose posts do you like reading? Like what coaches, like, do you know that they're like, whenever they post in their newsfeed, you're like, oh, I got to read this because they always post such good posts. You know, think about the people that you kind of are naturally drawn to and reach out to them. You can't expect someone to come to you and be like, you would be the perfect success partner for me. Let's do this. Like you have to put yourself out there and be willing to find the person that has the same work ethic as you, is in the same rank, you know, is ready to run with you as you are. So don't feel bad if, you know, you don't find a person right away after this call, but find one, you know,
now.
That's gonna fit. That's
Start
gonna work
finding
with you.
one now. Yeah.
I think that's into our next. Let me see.
Okay. A win.
Yes. So when do you get a success partner? You get one right now. I had heard of success partners and I've had a couple before and they were all great, but I just didn't value it because I didn't understand it as much as I do now. So I just imagine what Laura and I were able to propel our businesses together in about 6 weeks time together. If that's what we were able to do in 2 months, I can't imagine what we would have been able to do if we had started doing this 2 years ago when we both became coaches at the same time, but we didn't know who each other was.
Yeah.
So don't wait until you feel like don't think to yourself, well, I should probably wait till I'm at least Emerald so that I have some kind of credibility so that people think I'm at least a legit coach. Like, don't wait until you are a diamond. Don't wait till you're Emerald. Do it now. Even if you were a coach that signed up yesterday, you deserve someone that is equally committed to this business that's going to work along with you. And I mean, becoming a coach, that was yourself proving that you are here to work and to help people, and you deserve someone that is at that equal place and is going to do it with you. So find someone now.
Yes. And then if it doesn't work out, like for some reason it doesn't work out, don't be scared to try again, right? Don't be afraid to date again. Like I was totally afraid to date again. Like Becky was my success partner, and then she moved to Virginia, and then Ashley was my success partner, and she moved to Idaho, and I was like, forget it, I'm done. People keep leaving me. I'm not going to do this anymore. But I finally had to put myself out there, and I think she's gonna stay. She said she'd marry me, so hopefully that we're gonna stick together. But if we do end up breaking up, that's okay. You know, I'll put myself back out there on the market.
There is no scarcity. There are so many, especially even within TeamMADE, you guys, there are so many incredible coaches that I know that like putting the two of you together, it would just be hell on fire. It would be amazing. And so, I mean, even within TeamMADE, there are so many like minds. I mean, we were all drawn to the same team for the same reason, because we're like-minded people. And it doesn't have to be a coach in TeamMADE. It could be a coach on a completely different team that you just get along with. That's fine. But I'm just saying there are some really incredible and amazing coaches in this team that you've never even met, because there's like over 800 people in the team page. So there's no possible way you know everyone. So you don't have to add everybody in the team page, but I mean, you could. But it's just a good way to start, you know, connecting with coaches and even if they don't become your success partners, it's still, you know, broadening what you're learning from other coaches as well. So the sooner you find a success partner, the sooner you will find success. Like I said, I wish that Laura and I had started working together the day that I signed up as a coach instead of, you know, just these past 2 months, because I feel like I've been able to do a lot because I've found someone that has equal ambition and that we work really well together.
Oh, okay. When do you meet your success partner? Okay, so for us, we meet weekly. We have a designated day, right, that we connect with. sometimes
Wednesdays,
it's Wednesday, but like,
but
but we just have that day, you know, but like sometimes we don't, I think we've only actually like met twice on a Wednesday, but either that or we're via Zoom. But we have that space, and then if we have to reschedule that space, then we can reschedule it, but we always hold that space. So once a week, I think is very good. It's very good to have, because you have that accountability, you know, like whatever you committed to the week before, like you've got to get your stuff done because you've got a meeting, you know, and bosses don't cancel. And so you better get your stuff together so that you can be in the same place that they are, because, you know, if you have equal ambition, then you're going to be wanting to be able to move forward and not have to drag somebody. Yes, okay, so have a designated time and day that you connect. For us, that's Wednesdays. And then keep in contact as needed throughout the week. So we text each other, we voice message each other, like when we're on the verge of like, you know, syncing a sale, or, you know, we're getting a success point, or we popped an emerald or whatever, you know, we send little party messages to each other, just to kind of like keep each other going. It's like, hey, I got a challenge back. I'm like, okay, well then I need to get one, and then she needs to get one, and then we need to get one. It's like we kind of like, no, we don't compete with each other, but like I'm like, okay, she can do it, I can do it, she can do it, I can do it, and then we keep each other going through the week until we actually meet again and reassess our goals and plans.
Yes, and so if you can find somebody in your area, I think that's awesome, because, you know, with face-to-face interaction, it's just nice to be able to sit down with somebody and write down goals together. But if not, Zoom is the best thing ever, because you can still look that person in the eye, you can still talk to them, you can still interact. You know, it's so much more personable, and it goes so much further than just Facebook messages. So make sure you're putting forth an effort, because this person is investing in you and they deserve to be invested in as well. So like she said, we do have a designated time and day, and any time that is going to fall through, though, we always communicate and always make up for it. So if it doesn't happen on Wednesday, it's going to happen Wednesday night via Zoom, or it's going to happen Thursday morning via Zoom. So we always set aside time to connect weekly. And it's not like we're just like, all right, well, I'll see you next week, and we only talk once a week. We keep in constant contact throughout the week. So I know I have so many typos in here. I'm so sorry. I promise I can spell. But we keep in contact throughout the week. So it's funny, because any time of the month, I pretty much know how many coaches Laura's gotten this month, what her Success Club points are, because we're always constantly keeping in contact and kind of sharing our successes, or like she said, talking each other off our ledge. So it's just somebody that understands your hustle, they're doing the same things as you, and you're being able to work towards your goals mutually together. So usually, like, if Laura has 8 Success Club points, I'm either at 6 or 10, or, you know, we're always kind of within 2 Success Club points of each other, and within a coach or 2 of each other, just because that way we're growing at the same rate, and we can continue to build our businesses together and stay success partners, because we're equally as ambitious as the other. So how do you help each other? So how you help each other is you keep each other accountable. That is so important. Like I said kind of in the beginning, is that as coaches, this is why we are coaches. This is our purpose, is to keep people accountable to the goals that they have set for themselves. Because so many people, you guys, have so many amazing goals that they want to reach with their health and fitness, but they themselves are not enough to reach it. They need some kind of exterior force telling them that they still deserve it and that they still can, because they give up too easily on themselves. So that's where we come in as coaches. And really, that's where we can come in as success partners for each other, because sometimes we are way too easy to throw in the towel on this business. And so having somebody that's talking off that ledge and saying, no, you can totally do this. Like, you have so many coaches that adore you, and, you know, you're mentoring and are being successful. There are more people like that out there. You know, you have somebody that is there to make you stay on top of what you've committed to doing and remember what you're here to do, and that's to keep people accountable. So we kind of have to practice what we preach. Yes.
Okay, and then also a weekly evaluation on progress of your goals. Okay, so normal people, you know, I don't even know, like, they write out their goals like in January, right? And then they throw it away, or they tear it up, or, you know, they forget about it. It's like under the refrigerator. Okay, but like, weekly evaluation on progress of goals, moving the goal up, like if you met it, or like you know, moving it. Actually, you never move it back ever.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep progressing. You're like, okay, I did that. What's the next thing? I did that. What's the next thing? Okay, I didn't meet that. All right, now we're really gonna kick it into action. These are the steps you need to take in order to meet that. And so you've got someone else and you're actually writing them down together. And you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm going to do. And then you do it because you know that you've got to do it before you meet with them. So that weekly evaluation on progress of goals is awesome because you see your goals all the time. You're writing them all the time. You're making them all the time. They're in your face all the time so that you achieve them. They're in your mind. They're on your brain. They're like your vision board. Okay, so they're there for you to see all the time, and you have a much better chance of actually achieving them when they're right in front of your face and you're working on them all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And sharing your best business practices, that's kind of why, like I said earlier, that it's important that you have somebody that you trust, because you are sharing exactly what you're doing to propel your business. So for instance, if I ran a Coach Basics that was really successful, I tell Laura, you need to do Coach Basics yesterday. Like, they're great. And Laura will be like, okay, well, you need this tracker because this tracker totally keeps my challengers on point with their nutrition. They're always checking in with me. It makes them feel like they're achieving something. So we share our best business practices. So it's nice to kind of have a fresh look on things that I would have never thought to do in my business, but that were working for Laura, and then things that I thought were just no-brainers that I've been able to share with her. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's a give and take. You're being able to share what's working for both of you, and it's a fresh perspective on the business that you would never figure out for yourself. So it's kind of a right brain, left brain thing. Mm-hmm. Two heads are better than one. Everybody knows that. So it's putting, two minds together that are working towards the same goal.
Okay, and then also, you only have to make half the mistakes that you would have, okay? So you're learning from each other's experiences. So, sometimes you make a lot of mistakes. You figure out what works and what doesn't work, right? But if you're actually talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, that doesn't work, don't do that. You don't have to go through that and make that mistake and learn it for yourself, especially if somebody else has already done it and they're like, don't do that, that didn't work, but then if this really works, why don't you try this? So you're only making half the mistakes that you would have made, which is awesome because that means you're going to propel your business forward even further so that you don't have to keep making mistakes when you can start moving forward instead.
Yes. And then for sure with personal development insight, because a lot of, Laura's doing different personal development than I am, we can kind of both share our takeaways. And so we kind of get like double the personal development we would. So we kind of get to double up on that. And because we're both staying accountable on our personal development too and sharing it, we're growing together and our businesses are growing together. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and bring you guys back on. So I want to open this up for questions. Oh, there's a lot of chat. Okay. Oh. Let me see. Okay. Partnership instead of mentorship. Yes. Okay. So does anybody have any questions? If you do, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat box, or you can just unmute yourself and say, hey, and I'll find you and take your questions. What about other coaches from other teams that you connect with? That's totally fine. Like I said, if it's somebody that you've another coach that you've organically connected with, you get along with them well, you feel like you'd work together, it totally doesn't have to be someone that's in the team, because essentially, we are a team, we all have the same mentor, but we all work with different people. So I think that is, I think that's fine. I think that's great. Let me see here. Okay, I don't see no questions. Nobody has any questions.
Okay. Becky rocks. Is that what someone says? Oh. Is that a question? No, that's not a question. It's a statement.
Okay. So nobody wants to unmute themselves. Nobody has any questions.
Any questions?
We just nailed it, I guess. Yeah. Renee, what did you say? Do you have a schedule of what, Renee?
Don't keep us at such suspense. Oh. Of how you run
your how you run your meetings.
Oh.
No, I mean, we always, like she said, we always reevaluate our goals. We set weekly goals together. Like, I want to be to Success Club 5 by the next time we meet or whatever, So we never really have we're not that structured.
We don't have minutes yet.
Yeah.
Maybe if we had a committee, perhaps. But we reevaluate what we did for the last week, and then we talk about where we are now, what our ideas are going to be, and then we make our goals for the next week, and then we're like, all right, go kill it, right? But so that is kind of review, and then review, kind of assess where you're at right now, and then where you're going to go to in the next week before you meet. So past, present, future.
Yeah, I guess so. So we tried to have weekly goals, and that's why I was saying it's really important to have someone that is kind of in the same place in their business with you, because if your goals, like Laura and I pretty much have the same business goals every week, so she knows exactly where I'm at, exactly, what's going on for me, because she's doing the same thing. So it's really important I think that's what keeps us, this hot mess express, together, because we're not that structured, but we're always checking in with each other. I think communication is key. Yeah. So nothing really structured, but we always meet weekly. So schedule-wise, we always meet weekly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If there are
these big, scary goals?
Or
both.
Yes.
Both. Realistic goals are boring.
Yeah.
Very boring. Okay. They're not exciting. Like, you don't get excited for a realistic goal. Like, I'm going to get Success Club 2.
Yeah.
I'm not excited, but I'm going to get Success Club 20. And you know what? If I go for 20, I bet you I'm going to make 10, and that's exactly what I want. So 10 times the action.
Yes. And we kind of push each other. If Laura's like, all right, I just need to hit Success Club 5 this month, I'm like, girl, you can hit Success Club 10. And then we're both at Success Club 12 by the end of the month. So, and we both have really big, scary goals for our business, and I'm not even going to share them here because they terrify me. But I share them with Laura, because if you talk about your big, scary goals, you're more likely to achieve them. You have to put that out there. So we do talk about big, scary goals, but because I don't believe in realistic goals. We were talking about this beforehand, because if you aim for the moon, you at least land among the stars. I wish I knew who said that. But it's a really good way of saying, like she said, if you're shooting for Success Club 20, you're probably going to land at Success Club 10 or 12. So if you are shooting really far, you are going to land at least closer to that goal than you would further away.
Someone in the same local area is kind of awesome, because you can actually meet in person, but it doesn't have to be, because we have so much technology now. We have Zoom. It is nice because I get to work out with her, and see her, but I mean, yes, recommend. If an ideal situation came up and you found that one person in your area that you could marry, I would. But if you don't, then if your success partner lives in Maryland, then go for it.
Mm-hmm. So, Greg, you said you are a brand new coach and you're not getting much traction. That's because you're brand new. Rome wasn't built in a day. So you have to keep going until you find your niche, you find what people resonate with you and connect with you. And that's why you should get a success partner. It's because maybe you can find somebody that is also having those same struggles, and you can work together and share your takeaways. So find someone like you.
Yeah, and you're not the only person that feels like that, because so many people don't think that they could be a coach yet, or actually start coaching until they start getting results, because they won't inspire anybody. But people don't like perfection. They want to be inspired by someone that's actually on a journey. So if you're documenting your journey as you go along, that's going to inspire other people to do the same thing. So don't worry about that.
And then, Chrissy, you said your success partner lives in Maryland, and you live here in Dallas. But that's proof, though, that it doesn't have to be someone in your area, because I know they're a very dynamic duo, and they don't even they live quite a few states away. So if you can find someone in your area, I think that's great, because that works really well for us. Mm-hmm. But Zoom calls, like she said, there's so much technology. There's no excuse why you can't connect with somebody.
How long have we been coaches? Well,
shit. Well, I have, like I said, a disclaimer, there's the day that you sign up as a coach and the day you become a coach. I signed up as a coach in spring of 2014. I didn't start coaching though until maybe October of 2015.
I signed up in 2012, and then I got pregnant and I quit. And then I signed up again after my first baby to lose the rest of my weight, and then still did nothing with the business. And then just about 8 weeks ago, decided that I wanted to stay home. I didn't want my son in daycare because he was getting sick. And so I came home and I was like, all right, well, I guess this is what I'm going to do. And then I decided to do it. So it really can be just a decision to start.
Agreed.
Agreed.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. I know that you guys probably prefer to see Melissa's face over mine.
I look like Melissa. I got dark hair.
Laura's kind of channeling the Melissa right now. But like I said, she was Amanda tonight, and she was spoiled by her. And you guys know how much she does to spoil us.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, go play. Go enjoy yourself. So we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys got good takeaways from this. And we will post the recording as soon as it uploads. Okay, bye guys.